We Flarkin begin on Peter Quill's 13th birthday, when his mother Meredith gives him the Element Guns, a unique pair of weapons left behind by his father, Jason, an alien who departed Earth before Peter's birth to go fight in a war. Shortly after, Chitauri warriors attack the Quill household, kidnap Peter, and kill Meredith. Many years later, Peter becomes a mercenary known as Star-Lord, leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, consisting of the assassin Gamora, weapons specialist and inventor Rocket Raccoon, Rocket's loyal partner and tree-like humanoid, or Flora Colossus, Groot, and legendary warrior Drax the Destroyer, all hoping to make quick money during their adventurous wanderings around the galaxy. The Guardians head into the Forbidden Quarantine Zone, or QZ, established by the Nova Corps after a massive interstellar war several years prior to safely store leftover debris from it, in order to capture a rare monster rumored to lurk inside for their patron, Lady Hellbender. However, they're forced to flee the QZ when Peter picks up a yellow gem he finds and accidentally releases an unknown alien entity, which proceeds to tear everything in the QZ apart. The Guardians escape, only to be intercepted by a Nova Corps patrol ship, the Hollis Hope, captained by Centurion Karel, Peter's ex-lover. Karel detains the Guardians along with Grand Unifier Raker of the Universal Church of Truth, who was also caught trespassing in the QZ while searching for his church's golden god. While being processed, Peter also meets a young Nova Corps cadet named Nikki Gold, who happens to be Karel's daughter, leading Peter to suspect that he might be Nikki's father. As punishment for their trespass, Karel decides to levy a large fine against the Guardians, and gives them only a short time to pay it off, with the penalty for not doing so being the disabling of their starship, the Milano. As they have no credits to pay the fine, the Guardians attempt to scam Lady Hellbender by selling Groot to her, while secretly planning to free him and escape together after receiving payment. Hellbender purchases and pays for Groot, but the escape plan goes awry, and the Guardians are forced to fight their way out of her base, narrowly escaping. Enraged, Hellbender swears revenge and hires the Lethal Legion, a group of terrorist mercenaries, to chase after them. The Guardians then travel to the Rock, a Nova Corps outpost where Hollis Hope is docked, to pay their fine, but discover that the Nova Corps officers stationed there have mutinied, while claiming that they must spread something called the Promise. Hollis Hope abruptly departs the station to an unknown destination before the Guardians can make contact with it, and they decide to flee to the space station Nowhere, at which Peter plans to ask its security chief, Cosmo the Space Dog, for help. Before Peter can meet with him, Cosmo arrests the Guardians when they get into a fight with the Blood Brothers, members of the Lethal Legion, and Peter makes a deal with Cosmo that the Guardians will investigate Hollis Hope, which has now been located and is transmitting a mysterious signal, if Cosmo agrees to drop the charges against them and speak to Nova Corps about removing their fine. With Cosmo's help, the Guardians board Hollis Hope, finding a massive cannon siphoning faith energy from the planet below. They're then captured by Raker, who takes them to meet the matriarch of his church, who is revealed to be Nikki. Raker then reveals that Nikki is in possession of the yellow gem from the QZ, revealed to be the Soul Stone, which allows her to brainwash thousands of alien followers with the Promise, an illusion crafted from their deepest desires, and harness their devotion as faith energy to power the church's fleet of ships and machines. Nikki tries to tempt the Guardians with the Promise, but they resist and manage to break the illusion before escaping the church, although Drax is still shaken by what he witnessed in his Promise, and Peter learns that Karel was killed by the Soul Stone's mysterious entity, which Nikki witnessed firsthand. The Guardians are ambushed by a fleet of Lethal Legion warships, but manage to defeat them. They then attempt to enlist the help of the Xandarian World Mine, but it concludes that the Church's victory is inevitable, before fleeing the galaxy with the remaining Nova Corps. Drax then succumbs to the Promise, and imprisons the team within the Milano. With help from Mantis, a powerful psychic, the Guardians enter Drax's mind and force him to accept that the Promise is not real. They also encounter Adam Warlock, the Church's golden god, who faked his death and went into hiding on Mantis' planet. Warlock reveals that the alien entity controlling Nikki is in fact his dark side, Magus, whom he sealed inside the Soul Stone and cast into space. Magus is manipulating Raker and the Church in order to gather enough faith energy so that he can assume physical form and consume the entire galaxy. With no other options, the Guardians turn to Lady Hellbender, and manage to win her over to their side by subduing the legendary dragon-like monster, Fin Fang Foom, for her. She distracts the Church with her monster army, while the Guardians board the Church's flagship, the Sacrosanct. Raker traps the Guardians within an energy field, but Peter is able to enter Nikki's mind with the help of Karel's spirit, who reveals that Nikki is an adopted war orphan, and so is not Peter's biological daughter. Peter convinces Nikki to accept Karel's death, freeing her from Magus' control while also unlocking her hidden powers. The Guardians fight with and kill Raker while Warlock absorbs Magus back into his body, ending the threat of the Church. As the galaxy celebrates being freed from the Church's brainwashing, the Guardians take their leave, along with Nikki as their newest member. However, Magus proves to be too much for Warlock to contain and takes over his body. Guided by Mantis, Peter risks his own life by physically wielding the Soul Stone to imprison Magus once again. Afterward, Warlock thanks the Guardians for their help and takes custody of the Soul Stone, promising to come to them for further assistance should he need it again. Peter contemplates how best to take care of Nikki as the Guardians set off on their next mission, printing new business cards.